Hi everyone, this is Luc-Olivier for Motor Illustrated, and this week I am presenting to you a vehicle that I was very excited to show you. It's the all-new Hyundai IONIQ 6 in its N version, which is brand new for the 2026 model year. This vehicle has been unveiled last summer at the Goodwood Festival of Speed, and obviously speed here means a lot because this car is very fast and it's very, very sporty. In terms of design, they changed a lot of things for the 2026 model year. First and foremost, they changed the whole design of the front part. You now have only this line, which is decorated with 4 dots, and that's the 4 dots that we can see also in the Morse code, which means the letter H. In the lower part, it's blacked out with gray accent here. I really like it. It gives a lot of sportiness to the vehicle, and you also have one of the key signature of the N line, that red line that circled the whole vehicle. On the side, you've got standard 20-inch wheels. They're forged, and also as an option through the new catalog of accessories, you'll be able to find new wheels that are 1.5 kilograms lighter than these ones. So if you're looking for more performance, this is a way to go. On the side, you can tell it's still an IONIQ 6. The line hasn't changed that much, but on the lower part, once again, you have that red line. Also, as an option, it will be also possible to have side skirts in carbon fiber, and obviously you've got that N line right here that tells to everyone this vehicle is unique. In the back now, this is where this vehicle gets very spectacular. Humongous rear wing is now on this vehicle, and I really like that. If you want to have something even more special, you have to know that through, again, that catalog, you can get one of the nicest rear wing I've ever seen. It's a swan neck, and it's double swan neck, and you can even adjust the degrees. So this is very cool. And in the back, again, everything is blacked out, just like in the front. You also got that gray blade here. Really, really interesting because it mimics what's in front. And once again, right here, you've got these 4 dots in red this time that are telling that it's a Hyundai. And I really like this vehicle because Hyundai have been really audacious with the design. Inside of the 2026 Hyundai IONIQ 6, there are a lot of things that have been improved, and even more with the N version. First thing you'll notice, it's that amazing new steering wheel. It comes straight from the 5N, and honestly, it just looked like a video game. A lot of buttons, but once you get used to it, they are very functional, very ergonomical. And one of the things that I like, it's that center lane that tells you always where the position of your steering is, and that's a racing attribute. We recognize again these 2 screens, 12.3-inch each. It's very functional, and with this very version you can play with a humongous amount of different style, and a lot of information can be given because it's an N version, so you can go through hundreds, I think, of different parameters inside. One of the improvements that the model itself is getting, they simplified all the climate control. They've moved down a few here. Among them, the heating and cooling seat, also the heated steering wheel. So it is much more useful, much more functional to be here than there, where you had to play with different buttons. You were wasting time, and these buttons were very small. So honestly, that's a good move. They also move the wireless charging pad right here, way more functional. And because they've redesigned that whole part, they made more space underneath here. So it is even more practical. Talking about practicality, there's a drawer now here, and it feels very good. I really like that. It's much more practical, but we don't know yet if it will be available in Canada. In terms of design, also better material. Same thing for the inside of the door panel. This version comes with suede here, Alcantara for the armrest, some parts of the door, the seats. The seats are also sport seats, and they're very comfortable, very tight. I must say, big person like me feel a little too squeezed in this, but honestly, it's still very comfortable, and you feel that this vehicle is special. It has something unique because it's an N, but it's still a family hauler. You can still have 3 people in the back. It's very spacious, a lot of leg room, and if you need the trunk, which will probably be the case sometimes, you still have 300 liter in the back there, and it is very functional. Now let's talk about technical details. The first thing you have to know, the Hyundai IONIQ 6 comes with an 800 volt architecture. This is the same that we had since the beginning in 2023. That's a good news. And this gives you a very powerful capacity for charging up to 239 kilowatt. The other thing that is good with this new 26 version, you have a bigger battery. We had previously a 77.4 kilowatt hour battery. Now it's at 84, so it's much larger, but sadly, because this vehicle has a weaker aerodynamic and larger tire, the autonomy isn't that good. We're talking about 400 to 420 kilometers, which is not that much, but luckily you got big power for charging. We have to know also this vehicle comes with powerful engines, and they're pretty much the same you find in the IONIQ 5N. At the front, you have 166 kilowatt, which is about 223 horsepower, and in the rear, you are at 282 kilowatt, which is about 378 horsepower. In total, it is over 600 horsepower, 601 to be more precise. But just like the 5N, you got that boost mode and the launch control that can raise the horsepower to 641 horsepower, and listen to that, 568 pound-feet of torque. So this thing is very quick. You can do the 0-100 in less than 3.2 seconds, and the max speed is at 257 kilometers per hour. So this thing is very quick. You also need to know that the battery setup can be adjusted depending on different mode that you can choose, so it optimizes the temperature to make sure you get the best out of it. There's also brand new suspension on this vehicle. They're pretty much the same as the 5N, but they're tweaked differently, so it means that the gravity center is slightly lower and it helps the stability of the vehicle. Brake-wise, also much bigger than the standard ones. Up front, the discs are at 15.7 inches, and in the back they're over 14 inches. So this vehicle is made without any compromise to make sure that the sportiness of it is at its highest level. Now driving the 6N on the track, and let me tell you this car is a beast. The power is phenomenal. I've been driving this for over 15 rounds here in the Korean International Speedway. That racetrack is very technical, and sometimes this is where you see where a car can let you down. And here, really, maybe because the car is Korean, but it is very well built for this track. The steering wheel is very responsive. The suspensions keeps the car very stable, even with the weight of the vehicle, which is very high. As you know, it's an electric car, but the power compensates a lot for this, meaning that you can push the car. It is flying on the track, really, and the dynamics, you can play with a lot of them. The electronic stability control, the traction control, you've got an ELSD active on this that you can play with many setups. So really, this thing is a toy on this track, and it's never let you down. Honestly, I'm having so much fun right now, and this track is very technical. Really is a lot of turning, and it's biting, and one of the things that I like is it keeps this happy tail on the car, so you can have even more fun driving it on track, because the rear end has pretty much all the power when you are in that configuration. So honestly, I think Hyundai did a brilliant car for track, and don't get me wrong on this, even if it's electric, even if it's it's heavy, this car is flying on the track. Now my final thoughts on the new Hyundai IONIQ 6, and it's an amazing car. I really loved it. No disappointment here whatsoever. It's powerful, it's comfortable, the ride is amazing, it's overwhelming on the track. Same thing on the road, where you can play a lot with this car, and it still keeps a lot of family quality. A lot of space in the trunk, a lot of space on the second row also. So on the back seat, you can really sit 3 people very comfortably out there. There are a few things. Obviously, it can turn into a video game inside the vehicle, especially with all these noises and all these lighting inside, but you can turn them off and keep it quiet very easily. Obviously, the question of the price is unknown for the moment. It should be between $80,000 to $85,000. We're not sure yet. And the question of when it's going to be available, you can expect it at early 2026 at the best. For all my thoughts on this vehicle, I also invite you to go on motorillustrated.com for my full review on that. Have a great day, everyone.